Our sovereign energy, sacred boundaries and relational prosperity. Apertura quantica. Your inner field is a living temple, your attention is a royal decree, and your love is the law that shapes what may dwell within. 1. Deep gaze into sovereign energy. Sovereignty arises as the clear flame at the center of your being. It does not depend on outside approval. It does not shout. It does not collapse. It remembers that your life is a crown of responsibility and grace. Boundaries in this vision are not walls of fear. They are rivers of form that let love flow in right measure. When water knows its riverbanks, it sings rather than floods. When your energy knows its sacred lines, your gifts circulate without depletion. In the archetypal landscape of the soul, several allies stand beside you. The sovereign holds the scepter of choice and the compass of values. The guardian sets thresholds, saying yes and no without guilt. The alchemist transforms raw emotion into clarity. The healer breathes compassion into wounded places without rescuing what does not want to rise yet. The child that keeps wonder alive, so limits never become cynicism. The lover remembers that intimacy thrives where truth is spoken and respected. Relational prosperity means exchanges that nourish rather than drain. It is reciprocity that feels like a symphony rather than a tug of war. It is a long table where generosity is seasoned with discernment. Prosperity in relationships is not the number of connections. It is the quality of resonance and the integrity of the flow. When you dignify your boundaries, life responds with people and opportunities that mirror your dignity back to you. A simple image anchors this. Imagine your aura as a luminous garden. The soil is your nervous system, the roots are your beliefs, the flowers are your behaviors, the bees are your relationships, the fence is your boundary, the gate is your consent. A garden without a fence becomes a path for wandering feet. A garden with an inviting gate and clear pathways becomes a sanctuary where life multiplies in beauty. Sovereignty is the gardener that tends the seasons with devotion. Decmatter 2. Scientific and psychological foundations. Transpersonal psychology views the self as a wave in an ocean of consciousness. Your individual story matters and also participates in a wider field of meaning. Humanistic psychology adds the faith that people move naturally toward growth when offered empathy, congruence, and unconditional positive regard. Both perspectives honor that your boundaries are not a punishment to others. They are an affirmation of your authentic trajectory. From a nervous system lens, boundaries help regulate arousal. When you overextend, your system may live in sympathetic overdrive. When you collapse to avoid conflict, dorsal patterns may freeze expression. Sovereign limits restore the window of tolerance, where presence and choice become available. Neuroplasticity supports this shift. Repeated acts of self-respect carve new neural pathways. The prefrontal cortex learns to pause and choose rather than react from habit. Mirror neurons in healthy relationships reflect back safety, making it easier to remain congruent. Attachment patterns also color boundary dynamics. Anxious adaptations tend to overmerge and overexplain. Avoidant adaptations tend to withdraw and undershare. Disorganized adaptations oscillate, creating turbulence for self and others. Bringing compassionate awareness to these patterns already loosens their grip. Naming a pattern does not bind you. Naming it invites you to become the artist of a new dance. Practical example. A creator who says yes to every request notices resentment rising. The humanistic approach invites a values check. The transpersonal lens invites a purpose check. The body scan shows a tight chest each time the word yes is uttered without alignment. By learning to say a clean no and a wholehearted yes, this person stabilizes creative flow and experiences fewer stress spikes. Energy once swallowed by resentment becomes available for art, service, and rest. Another example. A caregiver believes love equals sacrifice. The nervous system remains hypervigilant. Sleep is shallow. The result is irritability and shame. With education, the caregiver reframes love as presence plus discernment. Micro-boundaries appear. Phone on silent during meals. 5 minutes of breathing before answering messages. 2 hours per week reserved for learning. These small stakes build a new structure where care no longer depletes but circulates. When limits are alive, authenticity becomes natural. Non-violence toward self becomes standard. Empathy becomes sustainable. You stop over-delivering and under-receiving. You stop negotiating your self-worth at every door. The soul relaxes into its rightful seat. Data 3. Biodecoding. Applied. In the symbolic language of the body, unspoken truths search for exits. Although biology has many factors, exploring emotional metaphors opens gentle doors of insight. Approach this as a contemplative map, not as rigid doctrine. Throat and jaw. Chronic tightness may mirror swallowed language and shifted boundaries. The antidote is respectful expression that names needs and limits. Skin. Rashes or hypersensitivity may symbolize contact boundaries. The skin is where the world touches. When limits blur, the body may signal heat or irritation. Gadol, bloating or cramps may echo difficulty digesting situations or saying no. The gut-brain responds to relational pressure and to internalized shoulds. Lower back. Strain may reflect the weight of carrying what is not yours. The psyche tries to prop up everything and everyone. The body becomes a ledger of unpaid invoices. Heart rhythm. Palpitations may align with conflicting loyalties. Love attempts to go in all directions at once. Boundaries help the heart keep an honest beat. A path of liberation follows 3 movements. Recognition. I name what my body is telling me in sensation words. Tightness, heat, pressure, numbness. Reconciliation. I place a hand on the point and say an affirmation. I sanctify my right to clarity. I permit myself to exit dynamics that refuse mutual respect. Repatterning. I change one behavior that my body requests. I elongate my exhale. I pause before yes. I decline with kindness. I ask for mutual timing. I end a chronic leakage of attention. A brief somatic script supports this. Hand on chest. 1 breath like a wave. Hand on throat. 1 breath like a bell. Hand on abdomen. 1 breath like a drum. Whisper inwardly. My body reveals truth. My truth reforms my boundaries. My boundaries refine my love. 4. Quantum NLP tools. In this field, language is sculpture and attention is electricity. Each exercise installs a new pattern, coherently and gently. 4.1 Identity Frame Upgrade Statement. I am a sovereign presence who gives from overflow and receives with gratitude. Process. 1. Stand with feet grounded. 2. Imagine a gold circle at your feet labeled dignity. Step into it. 3. Speak the identity line 3 times, slow and resonant. 4. See future versions of you in a line ahead. Each one has clearer eyes and steadier breath. Step forward through 3 versions, locking the statement at each step with a calm inhale and a longer exhale. 5. Turn around and imagine your current self receiving a beam of respect from the future. Nod and anchor by touching thumb to index finger. 4.2 Boundary Anchor. Choose a physical anchor such as touching the sternum or the wrist. 1. Evoke a memory of a clean yes or a clean no. 2. Amplify the memory. Notice posture, breath, warmth. 3. At the peak of alignment, press the anchor point gently for a full inhale and exhale. 4. Future pace. Visualize an upcoming conversation. Fire the anchor. Let your spine lengthen by 1 invisible vertebra. Speak truth in 10 words or fewer. Suggested microscripts. Thank you. My answer is no. I will respond tomorrow. I am available for 30 minutes. That request does not fit my current priorities. 4.3 Swish for energy leaks. 1. Picture the leaky pattern. Over-explaining. Instant replies. Automatic yes. 2. Freeze the image and shrink it to a corner in black and white. 3. Now construct a vibrant image of your sovereign behavior. Fewer words, slower pace, clear offer. 4. Rapidly swish the small image away while the vibrant image rushes forward to full color, full size. 5. Repeat 5 times, faster each round. 6. Test. Imagine the old cue. Notice the new response arrives first. Daba. 4.4 Reframe of meaning. Old meaning. Boundaries equal rejection. New meaning. Boundaries equal respect that sustains love. Install the reframe by breathing the new sentence into the chest on inhale and floating it through the crown on exhale. Use 10 breaths. Zek Sapa. 4.5 Parts reconciliation. Voice. A wants to help everyone. Voice B wants quiet and focus. 1. Assign a hand to each voice. 2. Let each hand speak 2 sentences. 3. Ask each voice to name its positive intention. 4. Invite both hands to move toward the heart, uniting in a third voice. 5. Integrate with a shared plan. 2 days per week for deep creation. 2 days for service. Clear hours for rest. 4.6 Timeline. Cleanse. 1. Stand and face forward. This is your future. 2. Turn backward. This is your past. 3. With eyes soft, take 1 step backward to a memory of overgiving. Place there a symbol of learning, such as a luminous feather. 4. Turn forward and step through today into a point 2 months ahead. See your schedule and relationships pulsing with reciprocity. Note 1 visible marker, such as a new collaboration that honors your pace. 5. Return to now and journal 1 action that bridges the two. 4.7 Value-centered negotiation. 1. Write your 3 core values for relationships. For example, honesty, mutuality, timing. 2. Translate values into behaviors. Honesty means clear asks. Mutuality means alternating turn-taking. Timing means defined windows. 3. Enter meetings with this triad visible to your inner eye. Negotiate from stability rather than scarcity. That was 5. Spiritual perspective and Christic consciousness. In the language of unity, boundaries are love shaped into form. Without form, love diffuses and exhausts. With wise form, love anchors and multiplies. Christic consciousness is compassionate lucidity. It is the radiance that says yes to healing and no to distortion. It embraces all beings in dignity and also asks that behavior align with truth. This field never confuses sacrifice with holiness. It honors service that does not erase the servant. Buddhist emptiness teaches that all forms, including boundaries, are empty of fixed essence. Emptiness does not mean absence. It means openness to interbeing. A boundary is a dynamic agreement between conditions. In one context, silence is medicine. In another, speech is medicine. Emptiness lets you update the contract moment by moment without attachment or resentment. This is compassionate, non-clinging in action. Psychomagic offers symbolic acts that speak to the subconscious with the grammar it understands. If your lineage taught endurance without reciprocity, you might place a heavy stone in a bowl of water on your altar with a note that says, "I release burdens that are not mine." After 7 days, return the stone to the earth with a bow. The act is simple. The subconscious reads it as permission to stop carrying what does not belong to you. A multi-dimensional tool completes the picture. Visualize a crystalline tetrahedron around your body. Its edges hum with indigo light. On inhale, the geometry brightens and gathers vitality. On exhale, the faces become mirrors that reflect back what is not yours. No fight, no drama, just clear optics. This field honors unity without merging, love without leakage, and service without self-erasure. 6. Integrative ritual for daily practice. This ritual unites mind, body, and spirit in a compact arc. Total time can be 11 minutes in the morning and 7 minutes at night. Bashaf. Morning arc. Crown the day. 1. Breath of settlement. 4 count inhale. 6 count exhale for 10 cycles. 2. Stance of dignity. Feet grounded, crown lengthened. Whisper, I stand in sovereign love. 3. Boundary sweep. With slow hands, Trace an oval 10 centimeters from your body, front to back, head to feet. Imagine a gentle shimmer, sealing micro tears. 4. Decree of allocation. Speak 3 lines. My time is art. My attention is gold. My energy is a vow. 5. Behavioral keystone. Choose one action to anchor the day. For example, reply to messages at 2 specific windows only. 6. Offer of blessing. Place a hand over your heart. Send goodwill to all you will meet. Prosperity rises when goodwill circulates. Micro boundaries through the day. Before a yes, breathe once. Before a no, breathe twice. When a request arrives, translate it into a clear container. Time, topic, outcome. When you sense a leak, touch your anchor point and let your spine lengthen. Evening arc. Close the temple. 1. Thank the field. 1 minute of gratitude for 3 aligned moments. 2. Cut gentle cords. Visualize threads returning to each origin with a blessing. I return what is yours with respect. I recall what is mine with care. 3. Water and salt. Wash hands with a pinch of salt while naming what you release. 4. Journal tally. 1 line for 1 boundary honored today. 1 line for 1 repair tomorrow. 5. Sleep gate. Imagine a soft silver canopy. Whisper the code, sovereign rest. Communication templates for prosperous relationships. Clarity carries a music that nourishes both sides. Use these lines as seeds and deliver them in your natural voice. I honor your request and I do not have capacity this week. I am open to this collaboration with these conditions and timelines. I value our bond and I will pause this conversation until we can meet with respect. I choose to focus on my core projects and I cannot commit now. I hear your need and here is what I can genuinely offer. Sacred economics of attention. Where your attention goes, value grows. Treat your attention like a living currency. Spend it where your values circulate back. Invest it where mutual uplift is measurable. Save some for silence, because silence compounds insight. Tie the portion to pure kindness with no expected return, because generosity keeps the river wide. Design agreements with timelines and outcomes. Clarify delivery and reciprocity. Allow generosity and let structure hold it. In communities of spirit and creation, this structure blesses everyone. People know what to expect. You know where you stand. Prosperity becomes the natural weather because the climate is clarity. Repair and renewal. Even the most sovereign hearts slip. You say yes when tired. You overshare in a moment of loneliness. The remedy is simple. Repair swiftly. 1. Acknowledge. Yesterday I spoke beyond my capacity. 2. Clarify. Here is what I can offer that stays true to both of us. 3. Recommit. I honor our connection inside healthy structure. Repair is gold. It proves that your boundaries are alive, not brittle. It invites relational trust to deepen rather than fracture. Benfask. Sanctuary protocol for sensitive days. Some days the world tilts loud. Use this protocol. Minimum viable presence. Fewer words. Slower pace. Protective imagery. Mirror light around you. Nourishing input. Music, nature, scripture if aligned, or silent breath. 1 aligned yes to beauty. Flowers on the table. A well-cooked meal. A poem read aloud. 1 brave no to noise. Nifong, the 7 decrees of sovereign love. 1. My body is the first boundary and I honor its signals. 2. My values are my north and I navigate by them. 3. My no protects my yes and my yes feeds the world. 4. My presence is a gift and I offer it with discernment. 5. My relationships flourish in reciprocity and respect. 6. My service flows from overflow, not depletion. 7. My spirit is free and my freedom chooses devotion. Relational prosperity markers. Conversations end with more energy than they began. Conflicts become design sessions rather than battles. Money agreements feel clean. Time boundaries are known and honored. Creativity returns after meetings rather than disappearing. Your body relaxes in the presence of aligned others. Gratitude becomes frequent without performance. Cierre de alta vibración. Frase maestra. Boundaries are love-wearing form, and love in form makes life sing. Reto cuántico. 24H. Choose one relationship and implement one micro-boundary that preserves your dignity and amplifies mutual goodness. Name it in writing. Do it once. Observe your body before and after. Código de activación. Whisper 3 times with steady breath and a gentle hand on the chest. I sanctify my space. I dignify my time. I prosper in truthful love. Seal with the sound AHM drawn long and soft. Con amor, Andrew.